July is over, so it's time to see how we did on our spending, how close we stuck to our budget. Here's our budget report for July 2023. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a financial coach with videos all about budgeting, money saving tips. In this video, I share with you our actual numbers, what we spent compared to what we had budgeted, because sometimes they don't always add up. Here's our spreadsheet where I track everything. As you can see, my husband is salary, so he gets the same amount every month, but this month he actually got a little bit of extra. He got $265 more than normal because he's doing some extra trainings and personal development. So he got paid extra for that. My business, I do make a little bit every month, but we don't live off of it. Anything that I make, we put towards our mortgage. So I didn't budget anything for that. So we did make $624.94. This is my take home from my business. And cash back. I use a bunch of cash backs. I bought a cash back. I just cashed in my $20. So I got $20 for my BADA. And then interest, we have a lot of money in online savings accounts right now. We use it for our emergency fund as well as anything we plan to use, any money we plan to use in the next 2 to 3 years. So our income was much higher than expected, which is always a good problem to have, right? Because our expenses were higher than planned. Tithing, we pay 10% on our gross income, and since my business made money, we paid more than I had budgeted, so we paid $975. Our mortgage is fixed, so that was exact. Our electricity was $1106. We do have solar panels. Our natural gas is not fixed, but it is an average payment plan, so we pay the same every single month for a while, and then they readjust it, so we paid exactly what we planned. Our water, our city bill, which includes our water, came in at $102.24. My life insurance, this is my term life insurance, that is fixed monthly, so that was $11.10. Car insurance, $103.47. I don't really know why it fluctuates a little bit. Every 6 months they readjust our policies, so that might be it. Also, for our car insurance, I started using their app to track my driving, and I get a discount for doing that. So maybe that's why it's adjusted. Phone bill, $30. This is for me, my husband, and my daughter. My husband and I, we pay $15 line to add to a family member's phone plan. My daughter, we just got her first phone for the summer, and we are using Mint Mobile, so we prepaid for 3 months. So we didn't have to pay anything this month. Our internet fixed at $62. Our gas, we did go over a little bit for the gas for our cars, went over by almost $37, but it's the very end of the month. We just barely filled up our vehicles, so they'll be full for the next. So next month we'll probably come under. We didn't pay anything for piano or for preschool for the month. That's coming soon though, falls right around the corner. So our fixed expenses, we went over by $170. Then moving on to variable expenses, I just keep these separate because I have a lot more control over the variable. Groceries, I went over budget, $709.48. So I went over by almost $30. Eating out, I went over by $8. So normally eating out, it's like my husband and I going out to eat once or twice for dates. We did not do any eating out for any dates this month. That included a couple of hot dogs from Costco with kids, and then we got some pizza one night. I was going to make pizza. We ended up getting it to go, but we used a coupon. So for our entire family, it was not too bad. So we went over by a few dollars. Miscellaneous, we stayed under $17.77. We budgeted $25. Entertainment, we went over by $1.30. This was mostly, we had some library fines I had to pay. And then for our gym membership, they do childcare, and it's $1 per hour, but you have to buy a punch pass. So I paid for $20 up front. So that should be good for a couple months. Kids money, only $19.40. All younger kids, none of them marked off their charts at all. They still did most of the stuff, they just didn't mark it off. And then this seems really low, but I'm not going to complain. When my kids forget to mark it off, they don't get paid. My fund money only spent $8. I am going to move my fund money into a sinking fund so that it accumulates month to month. Babysitter, I paid my daughter $5 to watch kids while I did some errands, I think. So we stayed under by $36 on our variable expenses. Now, we don't have any debt other than our mortgage, so I'm going to skip down to our savings or our sinking funds. Um, our emergency fund, we didn't budget anything, but I mentioned online savings accounts, so we earned some interest. So I added the interest we earned for that account. I just let it sit in the account. So we're now up to $15,658. My husband's personal money and his bike money, he got $50. He spent almost $500. He bought a new bike and a few other small little transactions. So he's down to $1448 in his. Life insurance, we budgeted 69, put 69 in. So we're now up to 621, and it's in like 2 or 3 months we'll have to pay for our life insurance bill. House maintenance, budgeted 75, put 75 in, but spent almost 400. We've started doing work on our garage, a lot of little things like we had to change the sprinklers and just stuff just comes up, it feels like. So we're down to $23 in this account. We are scraping the bottom. Vacation, we budgeted 250, we put 250 in, didn't spend anything, so we're now up to 454. We need money. My husband and I are going to South Africa this fall over Thanksgiving. We've already paid for our airline tickets. Most of our lodging will be staying with family, so we don't have much lodging. We haven't decided what we're doing, so we'll need some spending money and stuff for activities while we're there, but we don't need a ton, but we should have enough by the time that comes around. House updates, we didn't budget anything, but then all of the interest I earned in our online savings accounts that was not in our emergency fund, I put into here because it's going towards our garage. It's already going to be a lot more expensive than we had planned. We spent $6,450. We have started the demolition. We did almost all of the work to take, well, we did all of the work to take it out. We used jackhammers and borrowed a skid steer, loaded up stuff, had some trips to the dump, got rid of all of the cement, and dug out a bunch of our yard. We had some rental for tools. We have also, we're paying someone to do our concrete. My husband's helping, but we are paying to have that done. And we've already had the footings done and the foundation done. We just got the bill for that. We haven't actually paid it yet. So most of this bill right here is my daughter's braces. We did not know she was going to need braces. We didn't think she was going to need them. She does need braces. And we got a discount, 5% discount for paying up front. So we paid up front, but we hadn't planned on them. So we pulled it out of our garage fund. So that's why so much came out here. So we're down to $35,000 here. Extra mortgage payment, I didn't budget anything, but then everything I make for my business, which was $624, I put in, but our interest rate in our online savings account is higher than the interest rate on our mortgage. So I'm just accumulating it in the online savings account. And then at some point later on in the year, I'll put a big chunk towards our house. So we've got $2,400 there. Clothing, we budgeted 75, put 8704 in there. I can't remember why we have an odd amount. I put 75 in and then I think we had a return. That's why I think. I'm not sure why I have that odd amount in there. We spent $98 back to school time. We had some kids, our older kids buying some shoes. My younger kids, I bought some clothes for them. So we only have 51 left in that account. Gifts, budgeted 25, put 25 in, spent $10. How often do you have a round number like that? So we have $24 left in that account. Medical expenses, we budgeted 200, put 200 in. We spent $25, so we've got 700 left in that account. Car expenses, budgeted 75, put 75 in, spent 1069. We needed a little part for something. So we're down to 624 there. Christmas, we didn't budget anything, didn't put anything in, and we have nothing in our fund. We will use the cash back on our credit card to pay for our Christmas. And because everything is so expensive for our garage, our cement ended up being triple what the quotes we got were. So we are going to be cutting back on everything, including Christmas. So we will just use the budget from our Christmas budget will just be what we have for cash back from our credit card. That'll be our budget. Maybe I'll do a spending freeze for 1 week and add a little bit to it. For kids extracurricular, we only budgeted 125, but I ended up putting 400 in. You can see we had a ton of expenses, almost $800 worth of expenses. Partway through the month, we had a lot of expenses come up I was not planning on, so I ended up putting more into the fund, and now I know for future months I need to put more. We have it's insane how much some kids' expenses are. Just uniforms, we spent $500 just on uniforms for the month. So we have a whopping $3 left in that fund. And then my Roth IRA, we've invested $300 just as planned. So we ended up spending just over $6,000. So you can see we're negative $1,649. So we spent almost $17 more than I had budgeted. I like to keep a buffer in our checking account, so I'm not going to worry about a few dollars. I could transfer it from a savings account, but I'm just going to leave it. We keep a cushion in there, so our cushion will be a little bit smaller. But some months we have a little extra, and I just leave it in there. If you want to see my favorite online savings accounts, check out video right up there. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell so you get notified on my new videos. I share a video with our budget at the beginning of the month and our budget report at the end, as well as tips and tutorials for saving money, for using budgeting apps, all those types of things.